so easy.
Connecting, yeah.
Hey, ha. Boy, I'm in oh, you take back here. You give me now your cool here. Let me tell them how the thing goes. How the thing goes. Okay. Chebe make a samoa. Say my cooking and go drink God. You want to bamba? You wanna tea with the big boys? Now you the wrong, get the kitty, you the wrong, get enough with drink with a chop cup. Hey.
Of course, it's a Let's Talk show live with your girl Blaze and a Big E. What a wonderful way to start my weekend as usual. Of course, here in the studio. It feels like I haven't been here for a while, but that's because I love doing the show so much that it feels like it's taken me a long time to get back in the studios this week to tell you all about what's been happening. And of course, what's going to be coming up. We've got some wonderful guests today. We've got Samantha Banton from Wise. We've also got Andre Charles joining us a bit later. So guys, stay tuned in to find out what wonderful information they will be sharing with us today. So today's show is entitled Let's Get Ready. Sometimes you just got to be ready. You know, we plan for things and there are things that we want to happen, and then suddenly they happen and we're actually not ready. So guys, today is about getting ready. And that getting ready, you will find out, is at any age in your life, at any age, at any stage. It is never too late to make changes. And we found out yesterday, myself and Big E, that it's never too late to do exercises, even if they're on a chair. Mm-hmm. So today's quote simply goes like this: he who is best prepared can best serve his moment of inspiration. He who was best prepared can best serve his moment of inspiration. So guys, you got to get ready. So we are getting ready today. So welcome to the Let's Talk show live and the Chalk Hill Community Radio Station. The Chalk Hill Community Radio Station is all about keeping the community connected. Today's show is sponsored by Lloyd Montague of Forever Living. Guys, when was the last time you did something for the first time? And of course, have you been living your best life? We're going to find out about that shortly. But if you have something to share, why not message us here on 07956 548 781. When was the last time you did something for the first time? We would absolutely love to hear from you. But it is, of course, a Let's Talk show where anything can happen in Big E.
It usually does.
It usually does. Well, today's show, of course, is a Let's Talk show, and it is the Real Talk show. So we got some real talk coming up for you later in the show. And that's going to revolve around looking after our elders and making sure our elders are well. And also, what do you do when you're trying to get back into work? So Samantha and Andre are both here to talk about that today. So E, shall we start with Community Chat Bout last Saturday?
Yeah, definitely.
How was that for you?
It was good. This Community Chat Bout is always an event of a lot of information and things that you don't know, and place. It tells you places where you can go to get advice, get help within the community, because a lot of people don't know where to get that. And yeah, Community Chat was always fun. And then there was the piece of resistance with the little sketch.
Absolutely.
At the end, yeah, which was hilarious. So yeah, Community Chat Bout people. Next time, Community Chat Bout us on, try and make sure we be there.
Yeah, we're not so sure if we're doing one in December, because I think the church are having a sort of a candlelight service, which means we can't be
this time of the year,
playing the karaoke game next door.
Yeah, it's the time of the year.
It's the time of the year.
Yeah.
So maybe we won't be having one, but we will keep you posted. We'll keep you informed. But we want to say thank you to Colin McFarlane, who came down and spent time with us. Colin McFarlane is an actor, of course, and known for Batman and the voice of the Cube, for those of you that listen to the television. But he came down to really share his own story about being diagnosed with prostate cancer. So big up Colin. That's not going to be the last you see or hear of him. As I said on Saturday, basically I'm really easy to get to know, but I'm so hard to get rid of. So once you're with me, once you're in, you're in. So we hope to see some more of Colin. I also want to say a big thank you to the Sangoma drummers. They did a wonderful, wonderful job. And also to DJ E, who stood in at the last minute. Thank you so much, as always, for being on hand. Nines Health and Fitness Club, they came down and spoke about the benefits of health and fitness, and we'll be talking some more about that later. But as E said, the drama sketch Manning Up with Mellow Cadet and Murray Cadet and Mellow Manning was just something else. They just did so well. They are two members of the community, two friends of mine, who are funny individually, and collectively it is more on top of plenty. And they did a great job with their first production. So much so, other people are asking for us to take that production on tour. So we left from Alston and we're going on tour. That's all the singing you're getting from me today, guys. So no pull-ups. That's it. Did you like that, E? He's laughing. He didn't know I could do it. He's so impressed. I've got many talents, E, and that was just one of them. And that was not the first time I've done that. So there you go. So yeah, hopefully we'll be taking Manning Up on tour. It was really, really brilliant. So the other thing that I do have to say, for some of you who have been to the events that we did back in the Grange some years ago, when that was our studio space, and if you've been to any of the events that we had there, we used to have them in the summer in the garden. It was all wonderful, and we had DJ Stone, also known as Elliot, and he entertained everybody. He played the music. I mean, one of the nicest people you could ever meet. Anyway, on one of those events, Elliot came down and bought a bracelet for me, and also one for Omawale. And the bracelet was engraved with our African names, and mine would have been Efia. And from the moment he gave me that bracelet, I'm sorry about that sound. The moment he gave me that bracelet, I wore it every single day. However, just recently it became a little bit loose, and that the bracelet was so important to me, I was so proud of it, that I didn't want to lose it. So I took the bracelet off for a little bit and put it in my box with all of my other jewellery. And I thought I must get this repaired before I wear it again. Anyway, that story is the lead up to the fact that I received a call this week to say that Elliot had sadly passed away. To say that my soul was rocked, I can't tell you. My last interaction with him was that he was well and we were well. You do those quick, hey, how you doing? And they text back and say whatever they say. So I just want to say thank you, Elliot, for my bracelet. I will definitely repair it and keep it. Omawale only wears it on special occasions. I wear mine every day. Every day is a special occasion for me. And now that Elliot is one of our ancestors, I will ensure that that bracelet is strong and steady, and I will put it back on and wear that every day. So to Elliot, thank you for the music that you played. Thank you for my bracelet. Thank you for your friendship, and to his family, condolences from the Chalk Hill Community Radio Station. I don't know if you have anything you want to say about that.
Yeah, it's I mean, some of the stuff that he did and you listen to is just basically celebrating his life. So it's a life celebration. I mean, we are sad to see people go, but we have to celebrate their life and what they've done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And you're right, the way he did it, he had this really cool, he was never really fussed about anything.
Yeah, no drama.
No drama. No, it's wonderful. So yeah, to Elliot, rest in wonderful peace. Okay, so this week also feels a little bit like, I feel like I've been on the warpath, like I'm having to wear my warhead. And last week Sunday I went down to Windrush Square in Brixton for the remembrance of our African Caribbean soldiers who fought in both the wars and were not recognised. I think I mentioned last week my upset, my angst, and sometimes I've struggled to even think about the feeling of the injustice, the audacity of what happened. But in short, that event was set up and initiated by Jack Bueller and the Nubian Jack Community Trust, and there's a monument which is erected in Windrush Square, and it has all of the, information required so that anybody who is of the African diaspora can go down and see and celebrate. And every year there would be wreaths, and I would host it, and it was just a wonderful event. Well, in short, that event was taken over. I still don't even know how you take over someone's event. I say that right, but I say that because I think my vocabulary right here is short. It's limited in that I want to say that I'm surprised, but actually I'm not. The fight continues. The fight is on, and yeah, we're hoping. The plan is that we will be back next year in our space celebrating. How do you say to somebody an event that you have created, that you have initiated, a monument that you have been responsible for erecting, that you cannot go there? There is going to be a ceremony. We are doing it, and you are not. So yeah, that was last week Sunday. So yeah, big up to Jack Bueller and the team. Thank you guys for involving me. How wonderful. So, on a bit more of an up note, we've started the Radio Presenters training course on Tuesday. So well done to everybody who showed up and showed out. It was really, really wonderful to see you there. Because we have this thing, right? And I'm gonna say this might add to my war road, but sometimes when you do events and they're free, you might get 50 people sign up, but actually 50 people ain't coming. Some people book out 4 or 5 or 6 spaces, then the thing says sold out, then other people can't join, and then people don't come. Oh, I had to go Tesco's, I forgot to tell you, or whatever it is. So I just want to put out, for those people who did actually book their spaces and did take up their spaces, thank you for doing that, because then we go out and we buy refreshments and we book a room to accommodate the people and all of that. So I want to say thank you to those of you that booked and made every effort to show up. And also that's a good sign, because when you're doing radio, it's a real commitment. And I remember when I was starting radio and I was thinking, how am I going to just sort my life out so that I'm in the same place every single Saturday? Were you thinking that, E? I know you kind of came in by default.
Well, it's a bit different for me because I work. It's a little bit different because I'm here when I'm available, subject to availability, as they would say. But you still have to definitely work around it, decide what you're going to do when. I
still have to. But it is good though because I get to see you, and I guess if we weren't doing radio, it'd probably be, God, I haven't seen you for ages.
Yeah.
So I do get to see you. So thank you for your continued support and for our friendship. It means much. Yesterday, I got the pleasure of hosting the reception of someone's funeral. I got asked to do some really interesting things actually, and I was asked to host the funeral reception of somebody known as Colin Broomfield. He's affectionately known as Brixton's Hitman. So the name like that, he just wasn't an ordinary somebody. And he was somebody in the music industry. He's got a wonderful family. I didn't actually know him myself, but his family asked me to host this event. And I heard nothing but wonderful things about this individual. And so much so, there were a number of people in the reggae industry that he had crossed paths with. But what was said about Colin was that he was such a humble individual that he did a lot of things behind the scenes and lots of people didn't know about it. And I guess that's real giving. And he did that in a very humble way. And his family were beautiful. You could tell that he came from a beautiful family, and he was a really lovely individual. And so I got to share a stage with some of the reggae artists. I hosted that and brought them on the stage, and I love that. So we had Tipper Irie. Listen, Tipper Irie nearly took the roof off. I still don't know how he speaks as fast as he does, but Tipper was there, and it was really wonderful. And then we had John McLean, if I gave my heart to you and all of that stuff, and he was fantastic as well. And then we had another person called Henry Matic. I see him quite a lot down at BBMC, and he's always fabulously dressed. I did say that to him yesterday, and he was like, please. But he has his shoes always shiny, nice jacket, cap, and just always really well put together. And I think he's a trombonist as well. And he's, been amongst some greats, Aswads and Mick Jagger and James Brown, and even, oh gosh, I'm having a moment. Marvin Gaye. I'm thinking, is that going to come back to me? So they did a performance, live PAs for him yesterday, and it was just so great. I loved it. It's really nice because like he was saying, we are all destined for the same place, and it's hard when people go, but it is important to celebrate people's lives. So I am going to play John McLean, because I like McLean, to put some good energy into the start of the show. So we're going to play John McLean, If I Gave My Heart to You, just like this.
If I gave my heart to you, girl, well, yeah. I wanna know. Well, yeah. If I gave my heart to you, girl, I wanna know, am I looking in the right direction? Am I receiving your full attention? Or am I? Unbreakable material, one thing about love, it's got to be mutual, or else someone is sure to be hurt. So don't think I'm vain, for asking these questions. What would you do with it? Would you tear it apart, or would you look after it? If I gave my heart to you, what would you do with it? Would you tear it apart, or would you treasure it? gave my heart to you, well, I hope that you're sure that what you say are facts and not illusions, and you possess the right solutions to be sure we will. After it, if I gave my heart to you, what would you do with it? Would you tear it apart? If I gave my heart to you, what if I gave my heart to you? What would you do?
Community Radio. Check out our website for the latest news and reviews. We are always looking for new presenters. If you're interested, please contact chalkhillcommunityradio@gmail.com.
Wow, that reached me. You should have seen us in the studio, properly raving. That tune reached me. And I think I heard it last night, but somehow this morning, that John McLean, If I Gave My Heart to You. Wow, that's fabulous. We've had some great artists in our time, and the music is, of course, timeless. So I'm going to go to our special guest now. I think it's time to say a wonderful good morning to our first guest, Samantha Banton, who I first met, Sam, when I was touring with my Caribbean Front Room. Big shouts going out to Amja. Amja, I have not seen you for a long time. I hope you're tuning in. I know you're very busy and popular and famous, but it would be great for us to catch up. Amja's one of the radio presenters, but she's busy doing lots of stuff in the community. But her and I first met, Sam, at one of the local hospitals, thanks to Charm Miller of Million Market. So, Sam, welcome to the Let's Talk Show Live.
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. How are you doing?
I'm fine. I'm nicely warmed up.
Good. That song got you, didn't it?
Oh, wow.
The song got you. Sam was having a little rave. I know she likes a little rave, you know, Sam. She likes a little rave. The thing is, Sam, you're not here today to talk about the work that you did when I first met you. But we are going to talk about some wonderful stuff that you're doing in and around the community. But before we do that, just so that we can get a sense of Samantha Banton, talk to us a little bit kind of about your background, your cultural heritage. Yeah.
So I was born in Lambeth and came to Brent when I was 4 years old, and lived in Brent until I was 21, and then I went back to Lambeth again.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I loved it there. And then I came back to Brent in '93, and I have been living in Brent now since '93. So a number of people know me that they've went to school with me or college with me, and various community projects that I've done in Brent. And I worked in the NHS for 21 years. Wow. So a number of people will know me in and around health-related buildings.
So you were born in Lambeth. You played tennis. Lambeth, Brent.
Yeah.
Played tennis. What's your cultural heritage?
So both my parents are from Jamaica. And, you know, it's a country dear to my heart. So what's going on at the moment is really sad. But, you know, with Caribbean people, when the adversity happens, that we just have to come together as a collective and just do what needs to be done. So both my parents came from Jamaica. My mum's from Westmoreland and my dad is from St. Elizabeth. Both have sadly passed. But
so do you have people Mum and Dad have passed, condolences, but do you have people that's still living in those areas? You still have family?
So my dad's family is from Black River, so so they will be they're deeply affected, and I think that, you know, like I'm gonna try my best with the project that I'm involved with now and the projects that I'm involved with now to try and help to rebuild Jamaica.
I love that, because that is a real tragedy, something that we can't even really comprehend.
No.
We get rain and everything stops. The cars stop moving, right?
You know what I mean?
When it gets to autumn, trains ain't running because there's some leaves on the train track. So for this to happen, I guess we can't really comprehend. We see the devastation. Did you ever experience any hurricanes or anything when you lived in the Caribbean, E?
Yeah. I mean, I was there. I mean, I think there was one year I went Grenada and there was a hurricane kept come, and he was like, "What do you do? Do you batten down? Do you go and get all your emergency supplies and stuff like that?" But it's according to, you know what I mean, the scale and the size of the hurricane. But what's happening in Jamaica now? It's
massive.
Yeah, it's something that it's like you've never experienced before.
No.
You know what I mean? When it comes to hurricane disasters, you know, I mean, I don't know. I'm lost for words, to be honest.
It is sad, but I think that this part of my life, I'm looking on legacy.
Yeah.
And there's a number of us that we born in England, but you know, our roots are a million miles
in
away.
the Caribbean, yeah.
And I think when my parents passed, I think that I see it as my duty as their child, that I need to, they passed the baton to me. And I want us to connect with all the generations so that we, you know, continue to try and navigate through some of the difficult things that are happening in our communities.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I love that. It's interesting because I spoke about being at the event yesterday, and Tipper Irie, who is well known in the UK for all of his work, but he's recently done a song where he says he was born in London, he was born in the UK, but he's a black man and he's an African because he knows where he's coming from. So despite the eggs and bacons and all of that kind of stuff that he indulged in, he's talking about legacy and talking about heritage. And sometimes I'm asked the question, the challenge, because I refer to myself as unapologetically of African heritage. And people say, but you're black and you're British. Now, I'd probably have to do about 2 shows to kind of unpack that for me. But you're right in that we have a duty and responsibility. I feel that duty and responsibility, and I think the work that myself and Big E do and the work that we do around the radio station, I'm hoping that we demonstrate that duty and that legacy. What say you, E?
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Heritage is one of the most important things that you can look at. And I mean, there's a lot of people who don't see it how we see it, but we need to understand that it's trying to bring the community back. I mean, even back in the days when things were a lot more dire and less politically correct, you still had a little sense of community. You know what I mean? Now there's not that anymore.
Yeah.
You know, the community is just not there. You're like, you know, with, you know, some people, even some of the youngsters are like, oh, when I was growing up, I used to go to this person's house, I used to go to that person's house. Now you can't do that. You have to make an appointment.
Yeah, for sure. And I think what I know and remember about you, Sam, was how well you do that. Because even within your NHS setting, you were thinking about culture and heritage. And you set up the market with Charm, so big shouts out to Charm, who does a great job also within the community, ensuring that people get the things that they need. So talk to us about your time in the NHS then. What was your role?
So I was a non-clinical manager, and I managed services. So one of the services I managed was urgent care, when urgent care was being run at Chaplin Road in Wembley.
Oh yeah.
And we called them walk-in centres then. So so I managed the walk-in centre, and managed other services, community services, like co-managed physiotherapy in the community with a very good colleague of mine, Margaret McLennan, who was
Hey, big
counsellor
shouts out to
McLennan.
Margaret
So shout
McLennan.
out to Margaret McLennan. So yeah, so definitely that. And when I entered the NHS, we had PCTs, so we had primary care trusts. So and that was an exciting time because they were bringing health to the community. So they were taking health out of hospitals and moving those out. So we had a number of centres in and around the different localities in Brent, and you had everything within those, like physiotherapists, you had district nursing, you had health visiting, you had phlebotomy services. You know, there was just a like myriad, and people had their actual clinic times in those centres.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I love about that? I love that way of working, and it's how we deliver our services. So neither of us are clinically trained. E might have first aid. But I haven't even got that.
Yeah, I did. My first aid is expired. I got to renew that. Yeah.
So we've got
First aid
we've
at
got an
work.
expired first aider,
Yeah.
and then we've got me. But the community aspect is a thing that's important, and I
Yeah.
too came from a phase of working differently before my Blaze life. And I was working with the Primary Care Trust and things in the community. It is so important because people don't want to receive care in clinical settings all of the time. I mean, if you've ever had a trip to A&E, you just want to run out of there. You just want to run out, and then when you come out, you feel like you've got about 10 things you never went in there with.
Yeah.
And so that's why things in the community, in community spaces, are really great. And I think you are a real example of community, because you seem to do community in a way that some won't even know that that's what you're doing. So like in organisations like the NHS, like the hospital, you were still connecting with the community. So you manage services as a non-clinical worker. You worked with the fabulous Margaret McLennan, big shouts out to her, who does a huge amount of work
Definitely.
for people from our community. She is a real torchbearer. And you've done that for 21 years, you're saying?
21 years, yeah, coming into the NHS to work in the primary care trust. And it, and health is sort of like it's a big beast that keeps reinventing itself. And I think public services on a whole, like they have to keep reinventing themselves, like social services and the police and probation services and whatever, because of all the changes that happen every time we have different governments. So, but I think that one of the things that has been intrinsic in my life is about having a sense that I'm here, I have a purpose, and that getting up and trying to collaborate and work with different people has always been in my DNA.
Yeah.
So it didn't matter what role I did, it was about outreach, and I think it also is about championing people who at the end of the day don't have a voice.
Yeah.
And I think that one of the things that was key to me, and a number of colleagues that I worked with in health felt also, is that really and truly there's a number of people who there's issues that affect them. They may not know where to go and get help with those things. And so therefore people like ourselves, that we mix with a lot of different people, we touch on a lot of different genres, it helps that we can outreach and help those people to actually navigate and to find the answers that they need.
Because you're right, I often use the term, it's really something when you don't even know that you don't know. And we're going to be going on soon to talk about the work that you're doing currently, but there are loads of people that don't know where to go for some things. And having a recent conversation, myself and Charles, who does the health show after us on a Saturday, we also do a joint show. We co-host a show with the Brent Health Matters team, and they were talking recently about the fact that years ago, when you had a GP, it was one GP in a surgery. There wasn't 10 GPs. There was one GP, and you would go. You woke up in the morning. Oh, I don't feel well. You'd go to your GP. You'd give your name. You'd sit down. You'd be seen. Now, of course, you cannot feel well and be not well for 3 weeks before you actually see your GP.
Yeah.
And when you call for an appointment, and they say, "Oh, we've got an appointment like in 15 days' time," you just don't know what you're supposed to do because you're not well, and you don't know if you're still going to be unwell. In fact, even going to be alive in the 15 days. But what you're able to do now, because you're on the ground, is to direct people to, like we were saying about the service at Chaplin Road.
Yeah.
Some people don't know that there's a walk-in
No.
clinic, and that if you don't feel well on a Sunday, you can still be seen.
Yeah.
And this whole thing about not being well, your GP surgery Monday to Friday, anything after that, you just wait. But it's changed now. You can have an appointment on a Sunday evening. You can have it in the hospital. You can have it. So it is right that you provide this space for people to get some more information. You also do something with Brent Community Transport.
Yeah, so I'm the chair of the management committee at Brent Community Transport, which is a community transport service that's been in the borough for over 40 years.
Wow.
Yeah, providing accessible transport to people in and around Brent and just beyond the borough of Brent. Yeah, we also operate in Barnet.
I did my minibus training there. So I learned how to drive a minibus. That was also when I found out I was dyslexic. The driver instructor was like, "Are you dyslexic?" And I was like, "What a cheek." And I said, "Why would you say that?" And he said, "Oh, just because people that are dyslexic often have issues reversing around the corner." And the man got out the car, had a cigarette, and he's like, "You just have a couple of goes." And then I found out he was absolutely right. So thank you. I don't know if that driving instructor's still there, but going to take a minibus test allowed me to accept that actually I was dyslexic. So cool. So thank you for that work as well. Who do they serve, Brent Community Trust? Is it still people just hire minibuses? Is it still that?
It's still people hiring minibuses. It's we work with a lot of organisations. We have a contract with Dial-A-Ride, so Transport for London. We have a contract with the Mayor's Office. And we also do transport for special needs schooling, mainstream schooling, and services to residential homes and other organisations. And we also do shuttle busing. Okay. We've got a contract with Wembley Stadium, so so when all the events are on in Wembley, we're shuttling people backwards and forwards, accessible transport to and from Wembley Park Station.
Okay. So if somebody wanted to access the service, what could anybody access it? Do you have to be a registered group? I know back then you had to take their test, whatever,
yeah.
But tell us about that.
So we're a membership organisation, so anybody who so if you had somebody who is got a clean driving licence and has a D1 licence, they can.
What is a D1 licence?
So a D1 is a specialised licence. So I think everybody does their driving test and they have their licences.
Do you know if you've got a D1?
I think it's.
It will be if you know when you look on your license, you can actually see at the back what. I think the older licenses, like you're able to, you have that special class. Now you have to do the
extra.
You have to do the test to obtain it.
Well, I've got a really old license, so I think I might have the D1 then.
But the D1 allows people to actually transport more than 4 or 5 people.
So it's like your slightly larger vehicles.
Yeah, larger vehicles. Yeah.
Have you got it, E?
Yeah. D1's it's all the things that you're allowed to drive down there.
Yeah.
It's like
Oh,
So
yeah.
at the back of your license, you can see.
yeah.
So if you've been a driver for over 20 something years, at the back of your license, you would be
Able to drive a
licensed
D1,
to,
yeah,
to
drive a
actually register to get a minibus, and then you could take people out on on journeys. You know, like you would make sure that you sign up, and you would have responsibility to be able to take out the minibus. Would give you information on the rules and for having that responsibility. But then yes, you could drive out the minibus. So
Brilliant.
and that'd be a lesser cost than if you hired a minibus from us with the driver, because we'd be paying for the driver's time.
That's great. So I think now that we've confirmed that he has, well, his first aid is expired, so we can't use it for that. But you, with your D1 self,
Yeah.
can take out a minibus, and the Chalkhill Community Radio Station team can pop down to Southend or something, couldn't we?
You could have a nice
Look
day
at that.
trip out.
Yeah, sound like a plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Corned
At the
beef,
moment-
corned beef sandwiches.
You
No.
know that, innit?
At the moment, a little plug where we've got anybody that wants to, we're booking for anybody that wants to go out and see the lights. So we've got, at the moment, we're calling
Is
it
this
the
Blackpool?
Festive Bus.
Is this Blackpool?
No,
Or is this Oxford Street?
no,
It's Oxford Street.
Oxford Street lights. Oh my God.
That's what I'm saying. Blackpool is proper lights.
5 hours later. Are we there yet? No, not Blackpool.
He's having some kind of what do you
No.
call it? Nostalgia. He's got, what do you want? One of those hats that say "Kiss Me Quick" and a rock and all that.
You know what I
No.
mean?
To go and see the lights down at Oxford Street
Street.
and
Is this a bus tour then?
yes, a
It's
bus tour.
Oh, nice.
And
Okay.
in the rental, you get a little food pack. So
Right.
like your
So
mince pies and a drink and yeah. So you have it like a nice guided journey. So you could, and it's really lovely. Like because it gets darker
Yeah.
in the evening.
You need-
So
yeah.
that like you can sort of like take it all in better. Because it's twilight, isn't it? And so
Yeah,
you
get
like
better.
it's lovely. And one of the things is that was one of my mum's highlights this time of the year, because she used to go on the tour to go and do the lights, and she was disabled from she was 52. She had a
Wow.
massive stroke.
Wow.
So Brent Community Transport was one of the services that helped her to actually be able to get out and experience life again. So and for a number of people in the community, they can't get on ordinary transport. They need to have accessible transport. And so so then her highlight was going out, having a mince pie and a drink, and like just taking
Is it mulled wine?
Yeah, mulled, yeah.
It's basically
and seeing the lights, going
Yeah.
down Oxford Street, Regent Street, and then,
yeah, come back,
and then
yeah,
taking
yeah,
out a bit little Piccadilly Circus and
Yes,
then coming back
yeah.
around,
that's
So
not a
that
bad
was-
little tour.
That's it, yeah.
And would that be a funding? Is it a paying gig, or does you? Is it gonna?
Like if you're a member, so you I think it's £50 for the year,
For the year.
and then
Okay.
you can just book the tour,
Just register.
and and then,
Okay.
yeah.
That's good to know.
I think what's really beautiful about that story is how you talk of the legacy of your mother, and that the transport service that gave your mother her life back, or aspects of her life back, because that's probably more appropriate to say, is a service now that you're in a very strategic position. That must be really nice for her.
I think that, you see, like one of the things I tell people all the time is, when you have your family or people who mean a lot to you, and you can experience things with them, I think there's certain things you take for granted,
Yeah, definitely.
and sometimes you don't know the enormity of the actual, the legacy and the effect they have on you. I talk about my parents because a number of people's mums and dads, when they came here in the 50s, they were amazing, and I've been trying to make sure that some of those stories are still told even though they're passed on, because one of the things I feel about the people who came in the 50s and the 60s, they sucked it up. They went through a lot. I mean, we talk about difficulties and things like that, but I think that they went through huge barriers and things like that. But yet still, they were able to, navigate through. They held down jobs. They brought kids into the world. They bought houses. And they took us through the transition of all our childhood and whatever, with all those things going on in the background, and I think they did it so well. And I say to a lot of people now, what happened to us that we that they had amazing networks, and they had really good communication skills. They were living in each other's houses and actually having experiences together. And what are we doing?
Well, I mean, funny enough, I was having a conversation with someone, and we were talking about the same thing. How the Windrush generations, the amount of stuff they were doing at the same time while holding down jobs and everything, they still managed to hold a community. Whether it was a domino club, whether it was trips to Margate, whether it was the coach trips back in the days, and I mean, and a lot of you get back home, but they never traveled in this year because they were too busy laying foundations for us to to understand what our heritage are, what heritage is, I should say, and I think nowadays, because you've got social media and everything else that's taken place, and that's kind of like shift the pendulum, to the left of it. Whereas now, if you want to see someone, you've got to make an appointment. Whereas before, you could just pass around and just go and knock someone's door. I was in the area, I thought I'd just come and say hi. You can't do that anymore.
No.
And the thing is, you've got Ring doorbells now.
Yeah, exactly that.
So those unexpected visitors.
Yeah, they turn up. You're like, but you didn't tell me you were coming. I'm not in anyway.
That was that's so important, and it just reminded me of one of my favourite tracks by A Mighty A Diamond, and I think we're going to play that now because I love that track.
This is Chokyo Community Radio. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram at Chokyo Community Radio.
Wow, wow, wow. What a tune. What a tune. Yes, Sam, I hear what you're saying. It's kind of what has happened. Sam was talking about the wonderful work that our parents contributed, the struggle, the fight, and how they managed with less than we have. I was making light of the Ring doorbell, but we often talk about the fact that there was no mobile phone. In fact, we didn't even have a phone for a long time. We had the phone box down the road that we would go in with the yellow pages. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
That used to be nailed into some contraption, and you could sit on there and do all of that kind of stuff. And it's how did they do all that they did with so little? I also think about the likes of like Marcus Garvey. How did they create that kind of empire with so little? And we have so much. And I'm not, of course, saying that we're not doing things, because we are, and lots of people are. But I understand with you that what you're saying, and I echo that, the importance of the legacy. And you always talk so fondly of your parents, and it shows in your delivery. So let's go to Wise. Talk to us about Wise.
So Wise, like Brent Community Transport, has been around for over 40 years.
I should turn you up a little bit, because that's too much identity and all that moving up and down with the reggae music. We're losing your voice now, so there you go.
Yeah, so Wise, like Brent Community Transport, has been in Brent for over 40 years, and started as a drop-in in Alperton, and did supplementary Saturday school, and it was a number of Afro-Caribbean people who met in a place and would support supplementary Saturday school, teaching young people, but also coming together in a drop-in and in a social atmosphere, and just sort of like socialize and be. And
so the initial setup was to do with supplementary schools. That's
the
where it
initial
started.
setup was a drop-in and a space to come together, and then also the supplementary school was to give back to the community and help the younger generation. So I love the synergy between the older generation wanting to like pass something on and support the younger people coming up, and I think that a number of those people that used to meet and socialize felt that they wanted to help, so they would do maths or science or English in that setting.
In that space, yeah.
And so when we no longer could be in Alperton, the Welcome Club was on Alric Avenue and had been there a number of years. Again, it was a social setting for Afro-Caribbean community, and was going to be losing their funding. And that's how Wise started at Alric Avenue many years ago. So we've been in that, in that space on Alric Avenue for many years. And we're traditionally a day centre, and we do social events. Now, one of the things trying to go back to the thinking and the whole legacy around Wise is to open the doors and try and do more outreach to the community, so that I think that we've got a responsibility that we're a community resource, and just the day centre operates at the moment 3 days a week, Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, between 10 and 3, and those are for people who we would support, who are either referred by Brent Social Care, or that they have a private arrangement with us in a day centre setting. But Wise is also looking at partnerships and working to look at outreach to the wider senior citizen community, the elders in the community. So that is why now we're doing these two initiatives.
So before we go there, because I don't want to lose some of the beauty of what you said, it's kind of how it started, the purpose of it, and the fact that you want to, do more, and you want to take it into the community. One of the things I love, and I love many things about Wise, but one of the things I love is the Caribbean front room. I think it's also called a reminiscence room, is it?
It's a reminiscence
room. Talk to
us
about that room.
So the reminiscence room was a concept by a group of people who wanted to show people the heritage of, an African Caribbean person growing up, what our living room looked like. So we were going to bring the whole Brent community into that setting. So they developed an installation. I think it was at the Grange. It was an installation at the Grange, and overseen by the library service, and funding coming through there. And when the installation was to go, because it was only going to be for a set time, Wise was approached to see if we could take the installation in, and it actually fits nicely into our in everything we do, because it is everybody that goes in the reminiscence room, you feel like you've gone back into your living room or your aunt's living room or your like your cousin's living room, because these were the things that you grew up with, know, and a lot of those living rooms were locked up, so they were only for when big people came, and it's sort of like a room you pass the door and so the reminiscence room now is set up so that people who have dementia can go in there, and it will sort of like resonate some of their long-term memory. So that is what the reminiscence room is about in the Wise Centre.
Because even when I go to, have you seen the room, E? Yeah. When I go there, it just takes me all the way back to a time that I loved, a really strong memory, and you may or may not know, but I have my own Caribbean front room, except it's in different boxes, because I don't have a whole room to put it in. But that we used it last week, Saturday, as a backdrop. But then instead of that's how I met you, I bought the Caribbean front room to the hospitals. But I love the fact that the elders can go to that space, can go to that room, and just think back to a time that was wonderful. Because most people's front rooms look like that. I guess it's a bit like the IKEA one now, or IKEA room, where people think, oh, that looks like an IKEA room, whatever. And the Caribbean front room, though, was special and priceless. And bossy. It was bossy, right? And it was familiar. So probably every Caribbean household that you went to, you would see a pineapple ice bucket. You'd have one at your home, and it would be in everyone else's house, right?
Glass fish. Knitted doilies.
Knitted doilies.
You know what I mean? From the carpet to the wallpaper, from the wallpaper to the chandelier.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was
plastic on the floor.
Exactly.
Plastic on the
mantelpiece.
Yeah, the cabinets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And don't forget the bar.
Listen, and that's when we were really bossy, isn't it?
Because not everyone had a bar, isn't it?
Not everybody had to have a bar, whether it was a fixed bar or it was on a trolley that you moved around with these two big wheels on,
So that was important. So that's important. I feel like we could do more with that room.
We could.
And I'm really keen, and myself and you were talking about it yesterday, we are really keen to do some more. You know how fond I am of Wise. We're really keen to do some more. But guys, if you've just joined us, it is, of course, the Let's Talk Show live with the girl Blaze and Big E. Today's show is entitled Let's Get Ready. And the quote is, he who is best prepared can best serve his moment of inspiration. He who is best prepared can best serve his moment of inspiration. Our first guest today is Samantha Banton, and she's given us a history of 21 years in the NHS. She's talked about the primary care trust and how important it is to deliver services in the community. She's also spoken about Brent Community Transport and how someone's going off soon. I don't know if it's me, might be E, with a minibus of people, mince pies and some mulled wine. Although, check if you get on E's bus, because you might find it in Blackpool and not the city. So all of that's going to happen. And Samantha talks fondly about her parents and her Jamaican heritage, and how she feels that it's a duty, her duty, to give back. The wonderful story of the fact that the Brent Community Transport was an organisation that helped her own mother in her time of needing support. So it's great that Samantha is continuing that legacy. So, yesterday, myself, Big E, and Nine, big shouts out to Nine, came down to Wise. What were we doing there, Sam? What were we doing there?
So you all came down and helped us to launch Autumn Leaves. So Wise has been very fortunate to have funding through Love Where You Live, and Brent Council and Wembley Stadium. So we've got funding for 12 weeks to provide a drop-in for senior citizens on a Friday between 11 and 3 to come down to Alric Avenue and just hang out with us.
Nice. And we did that. I mean, E and I always love go. What do you love about doing events at Wise?
It's like it's just like a cool space. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's like a no drama space. You just go in, just do your thing, and everybody just comes along, and it just sort of reminds you of just togetherness. You know what I mean? Just brings everybody together. Everybody comes down. You have some food. You listen to some music. You talk. You chat. And as like we say, it's stuff that we used to do back in the days.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And it's on, so you don't have to, ring and tell anybody you're coming. You just turn up. You know what I mean? And that's, you don't even have to register. You just turn up.
I think for me, I always like, if Sam calls and says, "Are you free?" Even if I'm not free, I kind of have this compulsion, because I feel like I need to go. And the reason I get that feeling is because it's for our elders. Yeah. And when your parents said, "You're busy," you just said, "No, Mum," but really you were, but you just say no, right? Yeah. Because you daren't say anything else. But you just go to their aid, to the need. And also it's a dying generation, isn't it? It's a generation that we're losing. And so we got to spend time with them now, because they're going to share their stories with us. We're going to hear their stories. We can celebrate them. And they say once a man, twice a child. Yeah. That is so true. It is. And in the same way that we say children are cute, the elderly, that they also deserve that title. And sometimes they say some things, I'm like, oh my gosh, that is so cute. And they're all their different characters, and the different ways in which they pass the day, whether it's the lady with the crossword puzzle, or the lady that does the knitting, or those that are fit. Was it the Rocky Raunchers that we had one time? Rocky or Raunchy?
Raunchy rockers.
Yeah, well, whatever it was, they were far more raunchier, and they were rocking better than me, I can tell you. They were fit. And so I love that space is there, and that's why I feel like we need to do more for those elders. Yeah. Because I kid you not, before long, we are going to be the Rocky Raunchers.
We will.
We're going to be the ones where people just putting us on the minibus with mince pies.
We will. Yeah. I went to a funeral early this year, and the church was packed. And I remember when we were coming out of the church, 9 people had sticks walking out. And they weren't just elderly people, they were people in their late 50s and very early 60s who, like their hips were going out, their knees were going out. And I said, so the thing about life is that there's certain things where we make assumptions, but we can be wrong. And before you go like that, time just comes and goes. You know, like you realize, gosh, I haven't seen that person for 2 years. You know, like you know that in your, maybe when you in your mind you thought it was, you know, oh, I spoke to them 3-4 months ago. No, it was 2 years ago. You know, 2 years ago that you spoke to them, or you saw them, or you text them, or whatever. And I think that's one of the things is that let's make the most of now. And whilst we have the elder community, as you say, Blaze, it will be us soon. You know, like the clock is ticking. It doesn't stay on pause. It just keeps going.
And that's the thing, isn't it? It doesn't. Whatever's happening in your life might stop for a moment, but everyone else's is going to keep going. Like you said, the clock is going to keep moving. Time is going to keep moving, and it's so important to capture those stories. I'm going to be talking a bit more later about capturing some of those stories with our next guest, Andre Charles, who's going to be coming up soon to talk to us about education, but also about the legacy of some of the community centres like Wise. Leary Constantine, we're going to be talking about that. Bridge Park, we're going to be talking about that too. So yes, you're right. Before we know it, the time goes. So we attended Autumn Leaves, and we got all involved in the exercises, the music, soup. Oh, the soup. Lisa and her mum. That soup was lovely. The sorrel. So it's wonderful. There was veg soup. There was chicken soup. The dumplings, some sweet mouth dumpling. You know. Did you have the dumplings?
Yeah,
there was. I think they were Bayesian dumplings,
yes,
sugar dumplings.
Bayesian dumplings. Yeah.
Did you have dumplings, Eve?
Is there a difference?
Yeah, there is.
Yeah,
There's
they
difference.
do. They put a little.
They put a little sugar. But maybe you put you're Grenadian, so do you put sugar in your dumpling?
No, they don't.
Listen.
Okay.
Bayesian store.
Okay.
Yeah, there's
So
sprinkles.
you learn
really
something.
Nice because it's a rainy day.
Yeah. So it was. Yeah, it summed it up,
you know,
right?
like
Yeah,
it, you know,
perfect.
like warmed up your cockles before
Yeah,
you
exactly. Yeah, that's it.
Taste the if you. I don't know. You might have finished the soup and not noticed. Have you finished it?
I'm like keeping. I'm not going to save it. I ain't saving it. What am I saving it for?
I don't know. You know, sometimes you take things, but
No. That was the there and then. That was yesterday's dinner.
So you never noticed. Do you notice the difference in the dumplings? Do you guys put sugar in your dumplings? Say
No, we don't.
No.
Oh my God.
I never knew that.
Sugar dumpling, boy.
Okay.
Is there a song like that? Sugar
Yeah, there
dumpling?
is. Yeah,
Sweet sugar dumpling.
Yeah.
That's it.
Let me
See?
tell you
Fatty
something.
boom boom.
Yeah,
Sweet sugar
dumpling. Yeah,
That's
so.
because yes, is it that song?
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
yeah.
There's a sugar dumpling making big
Okay.
Is that?
Sugar dumplings in Jamaica is festivals.
Yeah, but
And
you
they
fry
them.
that.
Yeah,
but-
they're fried. But we just have flour dumplings, don't we?
Yeah.
With nothing in them.
Yeah.
Sugar dumpling.
Okay,
cassava
so that's so
or
hence the
So, yeah.
things. Yeah, hey, sweet sugar. Okay,
You
no,
know
yeah,
that.
no, I
So
understand.
when you play that
Yeah.
song now, you're gonna remember the soup that you got
Yeah.
up wide.
I'll have to find that song first. It's part of them. You know what I mean? The forgotten playlist.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so
Okay.
aside of me talking about my food belly, what? Oh yeah, and we said 9 was into that. So tell us a little bit more about Autumn Leaves. How people can get involved and that kind of thing.
Yes, so as he has said, Autumn Leaves, people can just come down on a Friday at 11 o'clock and just, just come in. And we're trying to keep it fluid because we want people to make it what it is rather than we have a, like a set
procedure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So everybody will be welcomed with tea, coffee. In the morning. There will always be some sort of movement, whether it's nines or raunchy rockers or whoever. And we will always have people that will come down and talk about various issues like health or one of the things that we want to be looking at is prevention for elderly people, whether that's scams or whether that is like preventing falls, or to look at like just their general well-being. They will have a little of that. We'll always warm them up with a little something before they leave, and then we hope that they can leave either with a with a bingo, a karaoke, or something like that, so that there's a tune in their head before they leave the door. So yeah,
I think I found that very special almost tear jerking to a point, when they were all sat around the table eating their soup, because for a lot of people, Saturday soup is a real thing. It's a thing that we had at home. It's a thing that grounded us in our heritage. And when I saw them sat around the table eating the soup, I found it mood altering. It was just a beautiful moment. And so thank you for providing that space, because there are some elders who live on their own now, and they don't have someone sitting around the table with them having soup, when a long time ago there probably had a lot of people in the house and they were preparing soup. So I want to say thank you for that space. Thank you for that moment. Thank you for including us. And yeah, we're going to be making a commitment to supporting that space to grow, and supporting you to do the work that you do, so that we don't do these things in silo, and that we help each other. What say you?
I think that's lovely. I think that Blaze and I collaborate on a few things. We you know, like we're simpatico in that. And I think I remember when I started at Wise last year. I went in, I walked into the hall and I just thought, you know, like you just feel like you're at your home from home.
Yeah.
And that is the environment that we want to foster for other people, because we know that for the elder generation it is difficult. Middle-aged people like ourselves, we talk about people passing on, but that is a daily occurrence for them.
Yeah.
So they're losing people all the time, you know, that sometimes how many a week. And so therefore their numbers are getting smaller.
Smaller every time.
And I remember one day I used to bring tea. I lived with my mum, and I used to bring her tea in the morning. And I said to her, "What's wrong with you?" And she said to me, she goes, "All my friends are gone and nobody's going to be coming to my funeral. I've gone to so many people's."
Oh, wow.
And that has stayed in my mind, because, you know, it's something where I don't think that it comes to our thinking. It might be a fleeting thing, but you would never. But for the elder generation, it is the reality of their you know, like they speak to a lot of people, and a lot of their circle is just going, and it is a rite of passage.
What a thought, though. I've been to so many funerals and no one's going to come to mine.
My
goodness. Listen, Sam, we've loved having you here in the studio. It is your first time on radio, and I've got to say, girl, it suits you.
Oh, thank you.
Did she do right?
She did brilliantly.
You've done really well, and you do some great work. So we are going to say thank you. We'd love for you to stay for the rest of the show and tune into our next guest, unless you're busy. You've got to run off and do something.
No, I'd love to stay. Can I do one more plug?
Yeah, go on.
Yes.
So we have a Wise Moves on a Monday at 10:30 every Monday. So anybody who wants a little bit of gentle movement, wants to come out of the house, come and meet the group. We've got that is being sponsored by Active Sport. And it is an initiative at the moment. So we'd love to see you on a Monday at 10:30. I
love the name, Wise Moves. That's a wise move.
Yes, Wise Moves. And then the word wise, it's you know, like it's such a lovely play on words.
Amazing. So listen, sorry, was you going to say something? I was going to say,
tell people where they can come down and do the Wise Moves.
So Wise Moves is on Mondays at 10:30 at Wise Alric Avenue, London, NW10 8RA. And Autumn Leaves is on a Friday at 11 o'clock at Wise at Alric Avenue. Anybody who is interested in booking for the festive bus for Brent Community Transport, ring them on 0203 114 7022 Monday to Fridays for any groups that want to have a festive tour over the Christmas season.
Fabulous, guys. Join me in saying a big thank you to our first guest, Samantha Banton, who gave us some great insight to her life and her legacy. This week is my Feeling Strong with my warhead on. I'm going to play a Bob Marley Get Up, Stand Up, just like this. Joined us. This is, of course, the Let's Talk show live on the Chalk Hill Community Radio Station. Your host, of course, myself, Blaze, alongside Big E. We've just had our first guest, and she was absolutely fabulous, Samantha Banton from Wise. Thank you so much for joining us. Today's show is entitled Let's Get Ready. The quote for today is, "Who is best prepared can best be served his moment of inspiration." He who is best prepared can best serve his moment of inspiration. So we are all about inspiring. Are we back on YouTube Live? I can't see us. We are celebrating legacy today and talking about passing on the baton. Today's show, as always, is sponsored by Lloyd Montague of Forever Living. So my next guest, a young man who I've met just recently. We spent a really great session on Tuesday of this week, and talk about reminiscing. We certainly did. We certainly did some of that this week. So can I ask you now to welcome to the studio Andre Charles. Andre, how you doing?
Good morning, and good morning to everyone who's listening and viewing. I'm doing good.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
Because I know that you're busy.
Not like you, though.
Not like me. Okay. people will say that's tough. I think I take busy to another level. But Andre, we met through the fantastic Norman Mullings.
Yeah, that's correct.
And he is the person that's been, kind of leading up on the Leary Constantine Centre in Wilsden. And he's connected you and I together and said that he thinks we're going to do some wonderful work. And I think he's right.
Yeah, the reason why I think he's right, because, I mean, what I would say, people may not believe it, but the program that you had, that you wrote down, I actually wrote down the same thing.
Yeah, I think there was one word that might have been different or something like that.
It could be about maybe one word that might have been different. So I think when we met and we saw that, because I actually showed you my notepad.
That was some synchronicity, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. And so I think I don't believe things happen by chance. I think there is divine intervention, and God put people together for a purpose. And I think we have a
absolutely
something that we have to do to fulfill.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's going to be fun. So Andre, so that people understand this whole connection, tell people a little bit about your background. What's your cultural heritage? We can hear that you're not necessarily someone who has resided in the UK all of your life, but tell us a bit about your cultural history and a little bit about yourself.
Well, I come from the capital of the world. That's Grenada.
All right then.
I am a proud Grenadian. I love Grenada. As you know, it's a little island in the Caribbean. We only have about 115,000 people, and we are very small. But as some Jamaicans say, we're small, but we talawa.
Yeah, for sure.
I grew up in a home where there was love with my parents, my mom and my dad. Unfortunately, they passed away, but they were community people.
Sure.
They were, I would say, philanthropists in their own rights. My dad was a civil servant, and my mom was mainly a homemaker, and she was a seamstress. So I had a very, very amazing upbringing, which I understood what it means to be a part of a family.
Nice.
Also, not just be a part of a family, but also be a part of a community. I was very, very involved in my community as well back home. I played football, I played cricket, and I am a musician as well. So I play.
What do you play?
I play the piano, but I can play other instruments as well.
You should have bought your keyboard, Andre. I know you can carry some things on your back.
It's heavy.
We'll have to set that up. Oh look, there's one over there. No, I'm joking. We'll have to do that for next time.
Yeah.
But that sounds like home. That just kind of carries on nicely from what we were talking about. But I'm gonna give some time to Big E, who will also now let you know why there is a synergy between you and him, so not just me. So this now becomes the triangle. So E, what's your response to Andre's introduction, if you have one?
Well, I mean, knowing that Andre is a musician as well, because I don't play instruments, and that's one thing I always love to do.
Right.
But I do have connections to Grenada as well.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Yeah, because my grandparents are Grenadian. And
nice.
they're from Guave, and that's where I reside most of the
wonderful.
time now. So where about in Grenada are you from?
From Birchgrove, St Andrew.
St Andrews,
side.
Granville side. Okay,
Yeah,
okay. That's the opposite side.
Big
right.
parish.
Yeah, huge.
So do we need, are you cousins or not? So
What's your surname actually?
No, my surname's Burke.
Burke. Okay.
Yeah.
There's no Burke in my my lineage.
I mean, it's in Guave. My granddad was well established.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Yeah, because I think the first time when I was there and we were walking back from somewhere, and I was like, Dad, how are we getting back? He's like, don't worry, man. Someone will pass and pick me up. I was like, really? You got that much confidence?
Yeah.
5 minutes later, beep, beep, Uncle Buck, where you going?
Yeah,
that's true. You know.
And it's like, and the amazing thing about the Caribbean is like that. I mean, once you tell them your name and they know where you're going, or oh yeah, I know you're this and I know you're that. And as you say, now it makes you understand why it's a small world. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And when you get there, it's
Yeah.
even smaller.
And not to cut,
Right.
you see what you said about when somebody passing and beep beep, it's
Yeah.
about where you going. I realized that I realized the impact that my dad and my mom had on a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
In that, if I go into certain places in Grenada, and I say who my dad is,
Yeah.
it's like things are different
You
because of the
get
respect.
recognized. You get recognized.
Yeah, because of the respect that they had for him
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
a lot of things that he's done in his lifetime. So I do understand what
Yeah,
you
yeah.
what
And
you're
it
actually
just
saying.
amazed me. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
That's cool. You know, and sometimes, you know, we're talking about the size of the islands, etc. But when I first went to St. Kitts, which is where my birth parents are from, my adopted parents are from Barbados, but my birth parents are from St. Kitts and Nevis. And when we first went there, I mean, back in the probably 90s, 80s, 90s, people would just stop and say, "Where you going, All Road?" And they
Yeah.
just give you a lift, and you
Yeah.
go, "Oh, who was that?"
Yeah.
"Oh, he just live up the corner." They don't know them,
Yeah.
but it was safe and okay to do that.
uh-huh.
So yeah, you know, you kind of wish that things were like that now.
It's absolutely amazing. And I mean, because I remember one year me and my cousin on a Sunday, because on a Sunday, transport don't run in Grenada.
Yeah,
Right.
no, yeah.
So one day we decided we walked about 4 or 5 miles, went to the local beach, and then when it was getting late, all right, so we think, we got to walk back now. So as we're walking back, the bus pull up. Where you guys going? So we're going Guav. So by the time we're talking to the driver. Then when we say, we're going Marcus, so this is why you going my Uncle Mark? Who is it?
Oh, is it? This is your dad? Or your granddad?
You know what I mean? And that's the amazing thing about it. I mean, people you've never met before. Yeah, all you have to do is just drop your name, and your name is like your passing. You know what I mean? You see, like here, you got
It's
Oyster
important.
card. Your name's like your Oyster.
Your
card.
oyster, your reputation. You don't
Yes.
need no ID card out there.
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
so Andre, you're a proud Grenadian of Grenadian heritage. You talk about the fondness of your parents, who definitely gave to the community,
Yes.
and the importance of them, and how your home taught you about family and community. When did you then come to the UK?
I came to the UK in 2004
Okay.
to actually play sport, professional sport.
Okay.
Cricket or football?
Football.
I used to play cricket, but I was really, really good at football. And funny story is, I was playing for a club down in East London, in Hackney Marshes, and my cousin was a friend of a scout for Arsenal. Who came and looked at me play. He never told me anything.
Yeah.
And then, if you could recall, in 2004, there was Ivan.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was actually flying back to Grenada on that same day. I flew back to Grenada 2 weeks after because I couldn't get in touch with my parents, and I just brought food stuff and everything down for them. And my cousin's friend wanted me to go on trials, but I was in Grenada
Okay.
and I couldn't get a flight up.
So you're saying you could have been an Arsenal player?
Maybe,
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
just maybe.
this
And
is
then
this
it
is
could-
the Arsenal radio station. Don't think we've got any Man United supporters in here or anything. Have we? E? I don't know. We might need to check with Ola. He might support Actington Stand. Who did you say? Chelsea.
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 I know I was thinking you were Actington Stanley.
Actington Stanley. That's it. Oh no, we'll let him stay though, because we like you, Ola. We will let you stay.
Yeah, so I came here in 2004, and then I went home for a bit. We helped rebuild and stuff, and then I came back up. Yeah, so since 2004, so that's like 21 years.
Wow. So you came with the hope to play professional football, but you were called back to go home, and you came back again now.
Yes.
So when you came back, what was your purpose? What were things like
I
for you
did
then?
some studies because I studied maths and statistics. I love maths.
You studied in what? Sorry, maths. Okay.
Yeah, well, that flew over your head.
Yeah, I didn't hear. I heard the ticks at the end. 'Cause that went right over my headphones are too big. What's interesting, we have a math show on a Wednesday. Mr. Numbervet, you should come and meet him.
Oh, maybe sure.
Maybe bring your baby.
I love numbers. I love maths.
Okay.
It's the best subject in the world for me. But
fantastic!
With some other people, they may not say that.
I might be one of those people that doesn't say that, but it doesn't mean that it's not important. And I love the fact that people are great with numbers. I'll probably try and do a little bit of Sudoku, and there's a couple of matching numbers games on my phone that I do.
Yeah, Sudoku is mainly, how can I put it? Problem solving, understanding sequences.
Yeah. It's not so much of a thing. So you love maths. You've done some training. What next?
So then, when that happened, I went into the financial sector. I actually used to work at one of the banks for a number of years, for quite some time. I worked as something like as a credit risk analysis. So I used to look at people's. I started working in the credit department and look at their books and so on. Look at cost saving measures and those kind of things. And then I did that for a period of time, and then I sort of branched out into other areas. Then in 2012, I gave up like my corporate side of work, as I would say, to take care of my mother, because she became sick.
So did you have to go back home, or was your mum there?
Yeah, I went home and I took her up here with me.
Okay.
Unfortunately, she was diagnosed with cancer, and
Sorry to hear
I was trying to get her alternative treatment because chemotherapy was not good for her. So I went to America and I went to Canada to find alternative treatment.
Wow.
And
did you take her with you, or did you just go and come back?
Both of us. We went. I was trying everything in my power to try and make her get well, but I think she got maybe a little bit tired, or she thought she was putting too much pressure on me. And then one day she just said she wanted to go home, and then she went home, and then maybe about 6 weeks after, she passed away. Then with that changed. I think that changed something in me. In that, when you in the corporate sector, it's like a rat race. You don't. There is no fulfillment of what you do. You're not making an impact on maybe somebody's life personally. So that's when I went into training. There was a program that we used to do. It was called HITS, which it was with Premiership Rugby. So it was merging sports and education. So I was the person in charge of looked at the education side of things. So maths, English, ICT, personal and social development.
And you were doing this out of the corporate setting?
Yeah, so I moved away because I just didn't want to go back into that sort of setting anymore. Because I think seeing my mom and knowing how she was and how she became, I think it changed my whole ethos of what life is. So I thought giving back in that way to young people, I think it's one of the ways I can make an impact.
I love that, and I don't want to miss the importance of you sharing that story in such a heartfelt way. And what a beautiful thing for a son to do for his mother. I mean, the tenacity of that, I feel that in my core, and I creatively visualize the energy that you would have used to be able to do that. And as a mother of 2 sons, oh my goodness, I just want to make sure that I acknowledge how that felt for me, and also to say that I understand how sometimes we can turn, as I say, pain into purpose. Sometimes some rough things happen to us and we think, how do I move from that to this? Something happens and the next day you're like, well, this is the first day of the rest of my life, and so what will that look like? And I just want to talk about the fact that you already started the show talking about the greatness of your parents and how they were community minded and did the stuff that they did. And clearly, that transition happened for you at that time.
Yeah. It happened. I wasn't really expecting that to happen, but I just thought that my purpose on this earth, I don't think it's in that area, the corporate area, because I do. There's three things that I have a passion for: young people, education, and music.
Yeah.
I'm very passionate about those, and I sometimes in everything that I do, I try to merge them together. But those are my passion. And my dad and my mom used to sing as well. My dad was a musician. My dad was a Calypsonian back in Grenada. So that's where I got my sort of musical side from. I did a bit of singing professionally.
Okay.
But Andre, you're not easy. So you sing, you play football, you're a mathematician. Huh? That's not a lot, is it?
That's just a little bit. Yeah, I used to do backing vocals for a number of artists. So like Jason Mraz. I did BVs for Mark Almond. Who else? The Bros Brothers. What's his name?
What, the UK Bros Brothers?
Okay. Matt and Luke.
Was it Matt and Luke?
Matt Goss. Matt Goss, yeah.
You do that?
Yeah.
He's coming right back.
Yeah, so I actually did all of the big sort of concert venues in London.
Okay.
Oh,
Did the Mobiles.
brilliant. See, that's the important thing, because I know that Norman connected us and we've had a couple of conversations, but of course there's lots more to talk about, and there is lots of things that we have in common. I haven't done the O2 though. I just thought I'd probably zero, probably 0-10. I don't know about 0-2. But I do love singing and I do love music, and it's funny because yesterday I went to host an event. It was a funeral reception, and there was lots of singers that were going to be showing up. And I walked through the door, and I don't know what it is about the way that I looked. This guy was walking past, and he stopped, and he turned around and was like, "Oh my gosh, you're the singer." I was like, "No, actually, sadly, I'm not." But he stopped, and then when I was stood at the top waiting to go on, the videographer was standing talking to this guy, and I could hear this guy talking. I could see them looking over, and then this guy was all a bit flustered, and then he went, and the videographer said to me, he's all excited because he thinks that you're the singer, and he's really excited to be here on stage with you. And I'm like, I might have to sing something for these people, but they're going to just know that I'm not the singer. So I've got singer envy, so I'm glad that you've done all of that. Yeah, I guess you can look like, I must have looked like I could sing, because sometimes people think, it's like, oh, you're the singer. No.
Yeah.
So you've been busy doing lots of things. Tell us now what you're doing. So you know, you said you've done some training, etc. You know, you love maths, and you've come onto an entrepreneurial aspect of your life, kind of giving back to the community. And there was some mention of young people. Tell us what you're doing now.
Well, in 2019, I was doing some work with Government of Grenada with the young people. Into 2019, into 2020, and that's when the Growth Academy was birthed. I was thinking of a name that I should call what I wanted to do, and then the Growth Academy came up, because the reason why I chose that is I think growth is something that never stops.
Sure.
And with our young people, it's a case that we need to instill values in them, so that they can actually grow. So
and
that's
you're
where
a
it
father
started.
as well, aren't you?
Yes, I'm a proud dad. I got 2 sons, and I have my beautiful princess, my daughter. She brings a lot of joy to me. I love my sons, but my daughter brings a special joy to my life.
Andre's always like some torchbearer. You know, when he talks about children generally, but when he talks about that baby girl, and to be honest, she's cute, isn't she?
Yeah, she is.
She's very cute and very ahead of her time. She came to our last event and thought she'd sidestep the videographer and started to video record with her iPad.
You know, own production. She's got her own production.
Content creation.
And the iPad was as big as her. That's I was like, well done, girl.
And then she was ready to sing at the karaoke game. She was
Yes, she was.
And how old is she? 3 or 2?
2.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, she's 2.
Because you remember, I got her to pick one of the
numbers,
the cards,
and she said best.
Say the words,
That ain't a 2-year-old you got there. She's just been with you for 2 years, but.
So with that, I worked with a number of training organizations in the UK, heading up the training department, writing different courses and policies and procedure. I actually was the curriculum manager for one of the for government organization.
Were you doing it remotely? So you were doing it from here, or you?
No,
went back?
I came back. I came back here. Well, for the Ministry of Defense and the MSSC, and then after that, I just decided, you know what, I can't work. And also with the birth of my daughter, I think again that changed a lot of things, and I wanted to really, really be there for her. And
nice.
Hence the reason why I sort of went into full time, doing my own sort of thing instead of doing this on the side. And then in last year, I met Mr. Mullins.
Indeed, the great Robert Mullins.
Through my church sister, and we had a meeting in November of last year. I shared my vision of what I wanted, and he was like, "You're the person that we were looking for." I was like, "Wow!" And then it's been like that ever since. I've been working. We've been working in partnership together on a number of things. But one of the things that we started was the leadership course, where we teach young people to become great leaders in every aspect of their life, because leadership is something really, really broad. So we sort of condensed a sort of 12-week course. We had the first cohort of people who graduated in July.
What's the age group, Andre? When you say young people,
yeah, it's from 16 plus. So we have no upper limit, but you have to be 16 years plus. And you can come down and we will have some great sessions. You do some project work as well. You do some self-reflection. So it's quite a whole rounded sort of course that takes in all aspects of leadership.
So is it 12 weeks face-to-face? Is it some face-to-face?
Yeah, face-to-face. It's face-to-face. Yeah, it's face-to-face.
I love that face-to-face, because you know the whole Zoom thing, and I understand the benefits that you can go internationally meet more people, but I think there's nothing like a face-to-face interaction.
Yeah, it's different, because I think with the leadership course, you need to see people and see, because body language and those sort of things within leadership, because as we say, a lot of the times our communication is more body than what we say. You know, right. so doing that, and the persons who was on the course, I that's when I realized that maybe sometimes we take certain things for granted. Some of the individuals who were on the course, they were lacking confidence. I would draw one person, her name was Agatha, and she was a teacher, and she lost all confidence in teaching. She stopped teaching, and at the end of the course, she was up on the podium giving a speech, and now she's back into teaching. So one of the main thing of the course is, although we do the course, during the period of the course, I would do one-to-one sessions with you, in where I would sort of unlock the potential that you have, and try and we would steer you into those paths. So if somebody is wants to be an engineer, we can steer them into companies where they can go in there and get the experience, or an apprenticeship, or if they have qualifications already, then maybe get employment there. So we work well we try and work with a lot of the corporate and also local companies, so that those individuals who go through the course, so it's not just a course and then you stop.
Yeah.
We make sure that from the course you are placed, or you go into either, you can even help, we can even also help you start your own business as well.
That's
those are
brilliant.
the areas
So
we help.
16 up,
Yes.
12-week course, face to face.
Yes.
But within that, there's also some support that you give outside of the general.
Their support networks.
Yes.
Yeah, to put us back
yes.
into work.
Yes.
And I really love the unlocking, because sometimes just midway through your life, something happens and you lose your confidence. Someone says something, or there's an experience or a life-changing thing, as you've mentioned, just shuts down the thought processes that you had before, that you would use to move around, navigate, and be confident. And sometimes they, like you said, they get locked in. So I love the fact that you're unlocking the potential, because we sometimes have everything that we need, we just don't know how to access it, or we
True.
don't know how to use it.
True.
And so we need somebody like yourselves to say, actually, you know, you're a mother, you run a household, you pay for your bills, so you can do accounting and you can manage events, because you do it every day. You just don't know.
And as you said, manage events. One part of the course is an enterprise activity where the students, or the person, we like to call them students because some of them are older than I am.
Yeah.
But it's okay, or same age. But they would have to manage a whole enterprise project. I would give them the scheme of work, or the scope of work, what they need to do, but then they would have to manage the whole thing themselves. And they did that. What they did an open mic night. They sold tickets, they had food, they had person at the door.
You did do it as a group? Is that
Yes,
how-
as a group. So they had different. They delegated roles and responsibilities for the persons in the group, and they did a fantastic job. In so that even Mr. Mullins had asked them if they can do it again as a collective. They called it NW. I think it's NW10 Collective.
Oh, brilliant.
Something like that was the name of the name of what they sort of came up with for that, and it was a very
And was that this year?
yes it was a really awesome event. Yeah.
And you said you had a good turnout.
Yeah, we did. They did really well for them doing that for the first time.
event, yeah.
With little or no. I mean, I was there to guide them.
Yeah.
But in sort of influence certain things, I literally had to restrain myself, because
you wanted to help a bit more.
yeah, but I just said I can't, because I would have to, I had to literally grade them as well and score, and ensure that they passed that aspect of the course as well.
Oh, brilliant.
Okay,
So is this your own course you've designed?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what I wanted to ask. I mean, it's like we're talking about the course, but if somebody wants to get onto the course, or they're interested,
Yeah, they
about
can
getting
give
on
us a
the
call.
course.
Give me a
give us some
call.
information about how we get hold of you, where they can find you.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I mean, stuff
We
like
are
that.
in the center on Tuesdays and Thursdays, from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Which is the centre?
At the Leary Constantine Center.
Where's that?
It's in Dowden Lane, not too far from me actually, just down the road from here. And you can give us a call on 07903 087282. That's my number.
Just say that one more time for us.
That's 07903 087282. So you can give me a call on this number. Mr. Mullins' number, I can't tell it off heart. I can maybe find it in my phone and I can send it to Blaze and Mr. Ian. Maybe you can share it with the listeners as well. But it's a course that you can take advantage of. A lot of the times we have a lot of things for young people and they don't really take advantage of it.
Is it a free course as well?
It is free.
It's a free. Wow.
That's the biggest
come on,
point.
come on.
It's free. It's free.
Come
Don't
on,
need to pay. We provide refreshments for you.
Yeah.
One of the
Is
guys.
that, let me just ask, is that sugar dumpling or no sugar in it?
I heard that when I was there.
Yeah,
and
see, you find
but
that's really-
yeah, we
see,
don't
that's
do
right.
that.
We don't, yeah, we
No.
don't do sugar dumpling like that. We do dumpling.
We do dumplings.
Here, Andre, we don't do that, no.
You see, because it's the same thing. It's the same thing with Jamaicans saying it's bakes, fried bakes, and dumplings. It's just, you know what I mean?
It's
Still-
different.
yeah, it's a different.
We
No,
have
it's the
fried
same-
bakes
yeah.
and we have dumplings. Everything for you. you
Yeah,
know.
we have bakes too.
Yeah, but Jamaicans.
We're from St Kitts. We
they
have
say
bakes.
dumplings.
We don't say dumpling.
Yeah.
So where are you from?
St Kitts and Nevis.
Okay.
But the reason I'm saying about the sugar dump is because I was also co-parented. I was raised by a Bayesian family as well. Big shouts
Okay.
out to Mummy Holder if you're tuning in. So I have both aspects of both the islands. And so yeah, little sugar in the dumpling. I think
that's-
even in St Kitts might put,
that's
but
the
it's
first-
really nice.
I've learned something. I've definitely learned something with that one.
Andre's
You know what I mean?
nostrils are twitching.
You know
Like,
what I mean? Sugar
Well,
in
maybe
the
I'll
dumpling.
try.
yeah, you just put a little bit in, and when you have that with some soup,
What I do with soup though, I put sometimes I put cornmeal.
Yeah.
In your dumpling?
Yes.
yeah. So we do corn and dumpling as well.
yeah,
You mix the two. That's got a nice little.
Yeah, a little grits. too.
Yeah.
It's really
Yeah.
nice.
That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Flavorful.
So, Andre, your growth mindset, I love that. The fact that you encourage young people to unlock, or you help them to unlock their own potential,
Yes.
and show them that they can even run their own events. I know that you were kind of wanting to help them, but you did the right thing by letting them go out and do the thing, and it was successful
Yes.
as well.
Yes, it was.
So that's important. We've got a few minutes left, and this is okay because you're going to need to come back because I know that there's future in the work that we're going to be doing.
Yes.
And
yes,
so we'll
yes.
be sharing it. So I don't feel like we've missed out. But what are some of the other things that you think Constantine needs? We've been speaking about some other things. What other thoughts do you have around how we can build on the use of Constantine?
In relation to that, number one, we have it's a brilliant space.
It is.
So, funny enough, as you said that, myself, I was thinking of things that we can do there, and one of the things that I said we can do a podcast, and I called it. I think This Is My Life, or This Is Your Life. It's in my phone. And then when we met, that's what I'm saying. It's like she had the same exact idea. Where we document persons like Mr. Mullins. This man is a gentle giant. He has patience. I even said to him the other day, I really need to have a sit down with him so he can teach me some stuff.
And he's so funny.
And he is witty.
But the thing is, he wasn't even. I don't think he was even trying to be funny. But he was just talking to us, and Andre and I were literally sliding out of our chairs on the back. And Mr. Mullins was just saying it very casually in the way that he does. What did you say? A line about cricketers. In cricket, it's not everybody that catches the bowl is the bowler.
That's definitely.
And he said it, and then there was somebody who said had sworn at him. This was a liner. He said that when the person swore at him, he said, "The reason you are swearing at me is because your vocabulary is limited." And the thing is, he's always so well. His hair is always crisply cut. He's always wearing shirt, tie,
always
blazer.
dressed to the T.
Always wonderfully dressed. And literally, Andre and I were just sat there like 2-year-olds, listening to him talk. And then in between that, we just listened, sliding. I was almost on my back. and while we're rolling about laughing, he's still talking, isn't he? He's still carrying on.
Yeah.
Yes, I just had to tell them. This time, me and Andre are not even in the room.
We were gone.
We gone, so it was brilliant and wonderful.
Yeah.
But so one more time about the course. Is it running now?
Yes, it's running now. We have some spaces available. So if anyone wants to get in touch, please do. I would send the flyer to Blazer. Maybe she can post it up as well. And so people can take advantage of it, and come down.
Fantastic.
And, we have a good time.
So what days of the week is it?
Tuesdays and Thursdays, 11 to 2. In the morning because sometimes with young people, you have to try and accommodate them and coax them into
into 10.
So 2 mornings a week.
Yeah,
Or
2 mornings a week,
yeah.
2 sessions a week from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Fantastic. Any final words from you before I go to my co-host and see how he wants to round up?
Thank you, Blaze, for having me here. I really sort of relish the opportunity to just come here and talk about what we do, and also I'm really looking forward to the many things that I think we'll accomplish together in the future.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So yes,
I echo that.
and Mr. E,
and Mr. E, he'll be
my
coming down.
fellow.
Big E, your cousin.
Yeah.
You don't, seeing as you're not eating sugar
Chicken
dumplings, you can bring some doubles or something.
My fellow 473.
Yes, there you go. So, E, any final words from you?
Yeah, as usual. I mean, you don't, as they say, don't judge a book by its cover, because there's a lot of people who are out there, and that's, I mean, he's so talented, like Andre himself. I mean, you wouldn't know he does everything that he does. You know what I mean? Sam, with wise Sam over on that side as well.
Yeah, wise Sam, innit?
You know
Wise
what I mean?
Sam.
Sam's just got all the wiseness going on, and you know, and it's, as again, information for the community. Yeah, information for the community. The opportunities that's being given, try and take it, grasp it with both hands and run with it, because these things don't come along every day.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So, guys, it has been the Let's Talk Show live. Today's show is entitled Let's Get Ready. And the quote, of course, was, he who is best prepared can best serve his moment of inspiration. Beautiful. He who is best prepared can best serve his moment of inspiration. Today's show was sponsored, of course, by Lloyd Montague of Forever Living. My special guest today, Sam Banton, as he said, wise Sam Banton, and of course, Andre Charles. I'm gonna end with sentimental reasons. I think today's been a very sentimental show, and I might drop a little bit of Buju in. No, I might drop a bit of Tipper, actually, because I saw Tipper yesterday. Let me see. Might not have Tipper. Tipper, I might have to bring you in next week, you know, because I don't think he said bring you next week. So we're going to end with Henry Matic and Sentimental Reasons, Just Like This.
Keep it in that genre.
It's so easy. Connecting, yeah.
Hey, ha. Boy, amen, oh, can't take back here. You give me now your cool here. Let me tell them how the thing goes. How the thing goes. Okay. Chebe meka tamua. Say my kina go drink God. You want to bamba? You wanna tea with the big boys? Now you the run, get the kitty, you the run.